Captain America Brave New World is in theaters, and everyone's talking about what a completely miserable waste of time this film is. No, actually, some are enjoying it, others hating it. I myself thought it was kind of a dumpster fire, but, an entertaining dumpster fire. Not one I ever want to revisit again. Until today. That's right, I'm going to be spoiling the crap out of this thing, talking about it for hopefully the last time. Let's begin. Listen, I'm about to take you on a journey through the cinematic tour de force that is Captain America Brave New World, but before I do, if you wouldn't mind just hitting that subscribe and the notification bell, that way you'll see more of me in the future. And I would appreciate it. I don't know if you will, but we're going to get there. I think I'm going to get there with you. What is Captain America Brave New World about? I'm asking you. I truly don't know. I don't know if the movie knows. There's a lot going on, and yet virtually nothing at the same time. We're going to be treated first off with a whole bunch of exposition. That's my favorite way to start a movie, reminding me of the good old days from like 20 years ago. Because for some dumbass, stupid-ass reason, Captain America 4 or 5 or whatever this thing is kind of a direct sequel to The Incredible Hulk. Remember that one? From 2008? Yeah, we got a few different storylines cooking, and the main one focuses around Thaddeus Ross. He was a general, he was in the conflict with the Incredible Hulk, he tried to kill the guy. He was going after Bruce Banner, gonna take him down dead or alive, preferably dead. The problem is Ross's daughter, played by that woman that cries in literally everything she's ever been in ever, hates his guts for what he did. And I know what you're thinking, calm down, I know what you're thinking. Is Liv Tyler reprising her role as Lady from The Incredible Hulk? And I got good news for you, fam. She does by voice in a call at one point. And then again, at the end of the movie, we kind of see her behind a sliding glass door. Was it really her? Some sort of a deep fake? I don't know. I really don't know. They kind of hid her. But I do know this. The new Captain America movie made me feel absolutely nothing. If you're looking for a movie that's just got a lot of dumb action, makes no sense, moves at a pretty decent clip, this'll get the job done. But if you're looking for anything where you feel even an ounce of an emotion, like joy, fear, excitement, this is gross. That's not the movie for you. No, this is what we in the industry call a Disney conveyor belt film. They just look at all the previous films, the robotic hand puts down superheroes once in a while, new characters that they can promote, toy lines, all that stuff. And it's all here. It's all really here. Even a brand new sidekick for our new Captain America. Falcon's back, baby. But he's not. He's not at all. Let's focus on one thing at a time, though. I'm really all over the place, and I apologize. Okay, so the focus was on Ross, right? That wartime general from years ago is now the president of the United States. He's won over the hearts and minds of people by shaving the stash. Once the stash went, he basically became a butterfly reborn from the cocoon, anew. But has Thaddeus really changed? Well, that's the question we ask ourselves constantly throughout this movie, because every turn seems like he's a different type of guy. Oh, he has changed. He wants to relight the Avengers Initiative, but he wants to keep them under his house. He wants to make sure he knows exactly what they're doing and they are at his beck and call. But then he wants to build a bridge and help out other countries, forming an accord where they can use a brand new material, an element that has been discovered thanks to the events of The Eternals. Everyone's favorite film, The Eternals, finally gets justice in this movie. Remember the giant titan from Eternals where the hand is coming out and its freaking head is showing in the ocean, and for some reason that did nothing to disturb the planet at all? When a giant titan rose up from the core of the earth, didn't really cause much destruction, didn't make tsunamis or any sort. Yeah, that happened. That all happened. You may not remember because you didn't watch The Eternals, but I did. I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. And so does Captain America, Brave New World. And nothing says a Brave New World like looking back on the films that most people didn't like or don't remember at all. And speaking of that, we have to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus TV show from like 5 years ago. That also plays a huge part in this movie. So we have our central storyline about Ross becoming a president that people can rally behind, leaving that past behind him. And the second big plot is the relationship Anthony Mackie has from a gentleman from that TV series that most people did not finish. I actually did finish it, and I forgot almost everything about it, other than the fact that he never took the super serum. They set up this show where there's a super serum that makes you a Captain America jacked dude with superpowers, and they don't have him take it because he's like, that was the Chris Evans Captain America. I'm my own man. I don't need the serum. I'm me. I'm special enough. No, you're not, bitch. Remember the scene in one of those movies where Captain America like ran 40 laps and you were still on your first and you're sweating and he's not even breaking a sweat. He's talking, he's laughing, he's having a good time. No, you don't remember apparently. Do you remember when Captain America fought Hydra and actual aliens and fell down like 50 stories out of a building, got back up, dusted himself off and continued fighting? How do you plan on doing this? Did all that go away overnight? What kind of madman, insane person would say, oh yeah, I want to be Captain America and go up against all that stuff, but not take anything that would help me win the fight? But I'm going to rely on all this technology in my suits because that's somehow different? What? Listen, I know these are comic book movies. There's always going to be a turn your brain off thing. There's always going to be a suspension of disbelief, all right? We have Black Widow running around in skin-tight outfits. She is just a human, highly trained, highly skilled, but still just a human. And she's doing a bunch of crazy shit too, all right? There was no past there. Scarlett Johansson's very hot, but that's still not an excuse, all right? But I've called that out every single time. And I've even said after one of the earlier films, is there gonna be a point when we just throw Hawkeye and Black Widow and some of these other very, very open to harm people in Iron Man suits? He's got like 1,000 of them. His wife's in one. Toss them in too. They're no good to you dead. They're sitting ducks out there. ScarJo's got a crop top on half the time. What's she gonna do against a laser? What's she gonna do against an invasion? Pull out the pea shooter? Oh, mission accomplished. Actually, we know what happened to her. She died by falling off of a cliff. You know who wouldn't die? Captain America. In fact, Chris Evans would have a hard time killing himself in that instance. Oh, I'm gonna do this for the greater good. Yeets himself off the cliff. Yep, you know what? That didn't work. I forgot I'm like Superman. Sorry, we'll try something else. I only bring up all this because Anthony Mackie's character, Sam, is gonna bring this up himself constantly. Probably should have taken that serum. Come on, man. What were you thinking? All right, let's fight the Hulk now. To make up for this fact, he does have a new super suit. It's white, it's pretty gaudy. If you want to talk stealth, you do the opposite of what this man's rocking. I know he's a symbol. I know he doesn't need to hide from anyone. But again, no superpowers. A little bit different here this time. He has been fitted with some Wakandian tech, though. This allows him to absorb hits, and then he can do the shockwave thing, and for some reason he can land from like 1,000 stories up onto his legs and be perfectly fine. There's a lot of things that just add up really perfectly in this. Because the events of the Eternals are apparently canon still, it turns out the giant titan is made of a rare material called adamantium. That's right, we did it. We got adamantium. No more of this vibranium nonsense. We got the real deal Holyfield here. And that's going to be the big conflict of the movie, the president trying to come to the table with the other countries, make a deal so they can all fairly have access to this material. Sam is going to be working very closely with Ross. And this poses a problem for Isaiah Bradley. He was in the TV series, again, that I watched and no one else. And I will say, Carl Lumbly, who plays this character, and Anthony Mackie, they do the best job they possibly can. They're easily the best characters in the film. It's just the script lets them down at every turn. Isaiah has a tragic story. He's one of the OG Captain Americas. They put the juice inside of him, they let him loose, and then they imprisoned him. He was incarcerated for 30 years or so, coming out obviously bitter and angry towards the government, that same government that Sam's now kissing the ring to. Sam assures him things have changed though. So has Ross. It's a different, you could say, new world we're living in. And so he invites Isaiah to come to this little summit where he can meet the president, shake his hand, have a little kumbaya. Well, that's where things go south really bad. Because Isaiah is a sleeper agent. He's a puppet being puppeteered. And all it takes is a song to come on for him to bust out a gun and try to kill the president. Thankfully, Ruth is on the scene. Ruth is the new Black Widow of sorts. She's about 4 feet tall, looks like a hobbit girl. She can fly off walls, spider monkey around people, wrap around legs, disassemble a gun, reassemble it. She's pretty awesome. She's no nonsense, and she makes no sense. But that's okay. Nothing in this film does. While all of this is happening, we have another new character out in the mix named Sidewinder. That's the name he goes by. Why? Question. Only comic people probably know the answer, but it's probably different in the comics anyway, so no one knows. Giancarlo Esposito plays this character, a man who I used to respect, but has the worst agent of all time, because everything I see him in now is trash. He is pitiful in this role, using his toughest, gruff voice he can. He's got a big gun, and he's mad, and he wants to kill Captain America because reasons. They shoehorn this guy into a few different scenes. It's bad every single time. The first one is in the opening number, where Captain America drops down like you see in the trailer, dispatches of a few people, has a one-on-one brawl inside of this area. While Sidewinder just walks away casually, Captain America is fighting one dude. He's a big guy, but again, it's Captain America. He should be able to dispose of this dude, no problem. But no, we're gonna have a slow-ass fight scene that goes on for a while, and the main villain here just walks away. Sidewinder's just gone. And Sam's like, curse you, Sidewinder. Chris Evans never would have let this happen. Listen, 1,000 apologies. I'm not doing this chronologically. There's just so much shit in this film. It's really hard for me to go beginning to end through this thing. You're just gonna have to bear with me. After the botched assassination attempt, Sam realizes that something is wrong. There's no way his best buddy from that TV series is bad. Somehow he's being manipulated. This is the big mystery that I would imagine everyone in the audience knows the answer to. Yes, it's some sort of a Winter Soldier thing where they play a song and it clicks something in. We already know he was experimented on. It was just such a stupid premise to begin with. And it turns out that is pretty much what's happening, but it's more comical. At least in the Winter Soldier, yeah, they were doing all sorts of stuff to Bucky Barnes. It made sense that he would come back bad. Keep in mind, Bucky Barnes is in this for like 20 seconds. Because I know he's doing Thunderbolts, but why would you build up this bromance in that TV series only to throw it away? Why are they not together in this film? It's head scratching. But don't worry, we have a new budding relationship with a new Falcon, played by Danny Ramirez. I hate this character in the movie. I truly hate this character. He's a fanboy of Captain America, specifically of Sam Wilson. Danny does nothing but crack jokes the entire film. He's the comic relief that's never funny. He does dumb shit all the time. I actively wanted him to die, but unfortunately he lives at the end. Since this movie goes all over the place like my review, I'm not actually sure at what point this happens, but Sidewinder somehow gets Captain America alone on a street that he blockades off, and then he just pulls out a gun and starts shooting at him. It's freaking hilarious. He's like, Captain America's disposed of. Gonna go confirm the kill. Oh, he's not dead. Shit! It was a laughable sequence where we're supposed to believe the Sidewinder character, who looks like he's in his 60s or 70s, is going toe-to-toe with Captain America, and he's some sort of a badass because he pulls out a machine gun and blocks a road. I'm sorry, dude. I love you, but this does not work at all. And keep in mind, he's barely going to be in the film after this. For some reason, they just randomly interject him into the movie when he wasn't necessary at all, and then he just goes away. He just goes away. So who is actually at the center of this mystery? Well, I think it's obvious. Everyone has guessed it at this point. It's Samuel Stearns, of course. Samuel Stearns, he was in The Incredible Hulk in 2008. This is like when they killed Morphoff in the first season of the X-Men animated series and had him unceremoniously come back in some random ass episode. I actually had completely forgotten about him, and by the time he showed up, I was like, oh, it's you. In fact, this is actually worse. I don't remember Samuel Stearns at all, but he's the big bad villain of this movie, and he has beef with Ross. Ross kept him locked away, working on his experiments, toiling around in his workshop. But because of this, Stearns was able to supersize his brain, making him look like a total fucking idiot. His bald head has the brain shape on it. It looks terrible. But he's the man behind the curtain, pulling the strings. He's the one that made our super soldier go evil, because he shot a picture into his cell phone, which then did something that allowed him to play the song which let him assassinate the president, or at least attempt to. This is insane. All right, this is the dumbest plot ever. Samuel Stearns is somehow brainwashing random members all over Congress, all over the military, and he just plays a little song somehow, and then they do whatever he says through mind control. It's such a convenient plot device because we never really get to have proof of how it could possibly happen, nor do we see how he does it at all. It's all just exposition dumped on us. This whole movie builds around a mystery and an assassination attempt, and the whole final reveal is superhero magic. That's lame as shit. That's like watching The Fugitive for 2 hours only to find out that no, Harrison Ford didn't kill her wife. A ghost did. How? What? It doesn't matter. Ghost magic. Speaking of Ford, he's fine in this. He's all right. He doesn't look or sound anything like Ross. I'm not sure why they had to use this. I don't know why they went off of this storyline at all. Why? Why would you pin your Brave New World future of the MCU so steeped in the past still? Move on, man! They keep pretending that they're looking on to the future, but they're still hanging on to everything that came before. Now they're going to the bad stuff, or the stuff that people don't recall, and they're like, this is where we're at now. Robert Downey Jr.'s coming back as Doom. What? Why? So the majority of this movie is going to be around Sam Wilson and his stupid new sidekick character running around trying to figure out what happened, why some of these agents are going bad. Meanwhile, his buddy Isaiah is back in jail, pissed off once again at the government and the injustice. And that's fair. That's more than fair, actually. And might I just add, what a shitty way to treat a character who was locked away for 30 years. He finally gets the justice that he seeks. They clear his name, and then bam, he's framed again. But why is all this happening? What is the reason behind this sinister deed? Well, it's just a good old-fashioned revenge tale. Samuel Stearns is pissed at Ross for all that he did to him and never giving him his freedoms. Instead, keeping him locked away while he works on new polyjuice potions, one of which is in the form of a pill that he has made for the president to keep him from dying. Because that's going to be our late game reveal as well. As it turns out, Ross had a bum ticker. His heart was about to go, so he turned to Stearns, who in turn made him some pills that keep everything clicking how they should. But what Stearns didn't tell him is he added one secret ingredient to the recipe. Chemical X! It was actually small doses of gamma radiation. It's your classic gamma radiation bait and switch. Thaddeus Ross has been ingesting small amounts of gamma radiation for many, many years now, and it's about to blow. It's going down! I'm yelling timber! All Stearns has to do is keep pushing him a little bit more, providing pressure. By stopping the peace treaty, he knows that he can piss Ross off enough to uncage the beast, thereby sullying the name that he's now made for himself. He tried to do this with the assassination. He tried to do this by stopping the peace treaty and having the fighter jets on the American side start attacking the other countries. This is the big battle scene at the end where Captain America's flying around in the air, dodging bullets, blowing up warheads, and his stupid-ass companion Falcon 2.0 is like, "Captain, it's my turn. I got this one." on your left. On your left. Sam Wilson goes, hey, I'm on that one. Don't mess with it. No. Cap, that's Cap. Cap, I got this one. No, you don't, stupid idiot. Yes, I do. And then boom, the missile blows up, hopefully killing this idiot, but no, he unfortunately survives. All I'm thinking though is, this isn't emotional because the guy was a hot-headed idiot who should have listened to the dude and not stopped it based on glory for himself. This guy's not a hero. He's a moron. But of course, as soon as he wakes up from his little nappy nap, he finds out that Sam is making him his number 2 because he's a piece of shit. Before the film winds down, we have to have our big bad boss fight, which was teased all over the trailers and the promotional material. Ross has to address the reporters and tell them about the attacks and everything that went wrong, how it was a complete disaster. And the bad guy, who clearly knows his way around the AV club, gets on the loudspeaker and starts talking shit about him and his daughter, how she doesn't like him, how he's a bum, and that pisses him off. He gets mad. Ross, angry. Everybody looks around. Holy crap, where's Thor? Where's Iron Man? Oh yeah, he's dead. Where's the Hulk? Oh, he's gray now and smart, so I don't know that character. Where's Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy and all the freaking other superheroes we have? Sam says, don't worry, I got this. I have a bird suit. Hulk man. They get in a fight, he smashes the side of the White House up, they fly through some trees. That's when they get to the big battle on the streets in front of a green screen. They get in a fight where Sam gets the shit kicked out of him, he's getting punched around, a wing gets ripped off. Sam looks perfectly fine, he has a little bit of blood and maybe a couple scratches, but otherwise he's doing well. Hulks are smashing down on the wings. But eventually Sam uses that old noggin of his, takes the purple wing, smashes it into his stomach, and then launches him across the way, knocking him out for a little while. Sam perfectly fine through all of this. The shockwave, the debris, the rubble falling on top of him, he's perfectly fine. And Red Hulk is gonna power down. We get a really awkward shot of Harrison Ford shirtless from the side. I don't really know if that was a necessary shot we needed, but we got it. He gets carried away in a stretcher, thumbs up. Sam Wilson shakes it off. He's like, I got a couple broken ribs, but there's no time to worry about that now. We got other things to do. The film ends back at the raft. You remember that from Civil War and I think a few other Marvel movies. We go to this isolated prison out in the ocean. Captain America lowers down where he sees Ross, his frenemy. Thaddeus elected to turn himself in and go to this prison because he knows it's the only way he can keep everyone safe. Because Ross truly has changed. So a little tip of the fictitious hat to you, sir. And that's where we get Liv Tyler coming back in some fashion. Everybody lost their mind. It's Liv Tyler! Both of my kids had no idea who she was. And they had seen The Incredible Hulk quite a long time ago. At one point, I turned over to my daughter and I said, that's the elf lady that cries all the time in The Lord of the Rings. This film is so forgettable that I don't actually remember how they kill the main bad guy. I really don't remember how they kill him. If they kill him at all. Maybe he just gets thrown in prison. I could look it up, but I think it's better this way. I just watched this movie 2 days ago. I don't remember how he was stopped. I know that Sidewinder was put in a cushy cell and Captain America said, you better behave yourself and not try to break out. Then Sidewinder retorts with something stupid like, when I break out, I'm going to kill you. All right, fuck you too then, I guess. No, but that's the movie, Captain America, Brave New World. Certainly seems to think it is. Let me know if you saw this. Oh wait, we gotta talk about the end credit scene. The end credit scene, which I pointed out in my regular review, truly atrocious. One of the stupidest things ever put at an end credit scene, which is saying a lot for Marvel. There's been some really bad ones. But we get to the end of this, We're back in the raft, probably the same day as shooting, save a little money here. Oh shit, the villain shows up there, so I guess they didn't catch him. He's just off doing his own thing. He shows up there and he talks to Ross, and he tells him that Ross may have won the battle, but he's lost the war. I've crunched the numbers, I've looked at all the variables, but your world is just one of many worlds, and it's inevitable that they will cross paths and there will be all-out war. You cannot avoid it. I've crunched the numbers, I've done the math. Listen, I was in my studio, I'm sitting there crunching the numbers, thinking about black holes and wormholes and multiverse and all that stuff, and I thought, if we carry the 3 and cross-reference the E equals MC square times the Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, a much better film, and then there's gonna be a Fantastic Four level cataclysmic event that's gonna bring other Avengers and X-Men into this universe. He doesn't say that, but that's clearly what he's getting at. So stupid. And those are my thoughts on Captain America 14 or wherever we're at in this mess we call the MCU still. Let me know your thoughts now. If you saw this, if you enjoyed it, if you hated it, if you thought it was just an unimaginable disaster, please let me know. Like the video and subscribe if you haven't. I post movie content almost daily on the channel. Would love to have you stick around. And hopefully, I catch you next time. Take care. Oh yeah, Isaiah was cleared for a second time. Cool. Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews. There's a vlog monthly. And even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge. Appreciate your time. Thanks.